Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the RBCS Black Side Semifinals, brought to you by Aryo Play, where today we have a matchup between two of the most surprising bots this year. On the left side of your screen, it's Indigo, driven by Sizzle, and he is a member of the Heaven's Guard. And on the right side of your screen, it's Bit, a member of the Battlebots Bureau, driven by Liquefied Water, last year's champion. But before we can get into the action, we gotta figure out how we got here with the losers bracket. And in the first match in the losers bracket, we had Auto Mechanica taking on Jim Brony, and Jim Brony proved way too much for Auto to handle. He did take a game, but Jim Brony also took off his wheels and mangled the Battlebot. And in the second round, Jim Brony taking on Tron, one of the only full body spinners we have this year, able to get behind him, able to blow up the weapon, made short work of Tron as Jim Brony came out swinging early stages of the losers bracket. But then he may have met his match in Oblivion, driven by Electrum Z. Electrum Z blowing up the weapon there, able to drive well, but in game 2, Jim Brony able to get a lucky hit to remove the Self-Rider, and Oblivion was not able to recover, forcing a all-or-nothing game 3 to stay in the tournament. But once again, the weapon blown off by the power of Oblivion. Jim Brony taking an early exit from the tournament. Then we had Pentakill taking on Demon of the North. Demon of the North, a very high seed. SDs in game 2 gets swept, one of the biggest upsets in RBCS history. Pentakill on a roll, and he's trying to keep it up here against Tempest. Game 3, winner out of the tournament. And he was able to get a lucky hit. Tempest was unable to self-right. One of the weirdest things I've seen in all of RBCS this year. But Pentakill was on a god run, but he did meet his match eventually. Sleepy Lavender, very fast, very powerful, able to throw the very laggy Pentakill out of the arena, sweep him 2-0 to set up a huge matchup between himself and Oblivion. And Oblivion came in the favorites, but made an adjustment to his wedge, and unfortunately that was his undoing as Lavender was able to get underneath him, put him in the box, and that set up our quarter-final matchup between Bit and Sleepy Lavender in the first ever RBCS overtime. Sleepy Lavender found his way into the box. Bit, great driving, great awareness. And game 2, Lavender fighting for his tournament hopes, but unfortunately he has to go in the box. Bit, once again, showing off that he is the king of RBCS, and he will not be eliminated. And he's made his way to the semifinals here today. And here are the team standings. Roundtable Clan holding up a point on B3 with Heaven's Guard still having a chance, but Indigo is going to have a great showing today for them. And that takes us in to game 1, where I am just excited to see what these two bots bring for us today. Both of them extremely powerful. You have the strong drum egg beater style of Indigo, and then Bit, you have those horizontals in the back that can take care of any bot. And game 1, of course, is brought to you by the ZuggyJ Central Discord server. It is linked in the description. That is the Discord server where RBCS and all these events are hosted. Bit off to a relatively, I think, a normal start. I shouldn't say a fast start. He always starts off strong, always goes after those mini-bots early, and is always able to rotate those arms and keep them on target, where Indigo is going to have to do what he did the last time they fought, which was hope for lucky hits and overall have to bait the driver into making bad decisions. As I think, Sizzle may have got away with that one time, but trying to get Liquefied to make bad decisions in the battle box is one of the hardest things you can do. And early on here, Bit with an opportunity, Indigo in the corner, Indigo able to self-right, get himself out of there, trying to turn the table on him with a reversal, and was unable to do so. But I like the idea, and I like the aggressiveness that Sizzle tried to show there, turning a bad situation into an almost good one. But he is back in the corner, not where he wants to be. Bit with an opportunity to shred, and Indigo luckily will bounce out of there and avoid going in the box. And we will continue on here as a minute has already passed in the action here in the semifinals, as Bit goes in the air out of the arena. That was a crazy shot from Indigo. That one looked extra weird. We're going to take a look at it in replay, and well, that was just a weird physics moment, but Bit is out. Indigo's going to take game 1 of the series. Well, we're now ready to head into game 2, where it is going to be win or go home for Bit, and that brings me into the format for this semifinal. So because Bit has lost before and has to go into losers bracket, this will be a best of 3, and if Indigo wins this one, he will move on to the grand finals. But if Bit were to come back in this series and get it done, we will head to a best of 5, and the winner of that one will be moving on to the grand finals. And if either of these bots right here advance to the finals, they will be the lowest seed to ever grace an RBCS finals, which just goes to show that if you enter RBCS, there goes the weapon off a Bit, split in half, and Indigo with a huge shot early on in this game 2, and that might have been the finals clinching shot for Indigo, as it just got to the backside, was able to break one of those welds, and good driving from Indigo early on has given him a huge advantage. But we're going to have to see how he drives from here, as I imagine if we were to head to a judge's decision, no matter what happens, as long as Indigo stays intact, he will be the winner. So I think Bit's going to have to kind of force things here, look for big hits, and like you see right there, spinning in the middle of the arena as fast as he can, looking for you know, a slappy type hit to maybe send Indigo into those arena hazards or something. Because at this point, no weapon left, but you can see Indigo still thrown in the air. Sizzle still has his work cut out for him. He's driving against the best driver in RBCS history, as coming into this match, Bit was 35-10. But if he goes 35-12, well, he won't be in the grand finals. He's on his back here. Is he going to be able to self-right? Yes, he is. And that almost resulted in the match being over. I'm not sure what he used to self-right, but he stays alive. And we will continue on as we've reached the halfway point of this matchup. Indigo into the corner off of that drum spinner. Bit currently riding on top of it as well, as they meet back in the middle of the arena. And I think the key for Indigo is going to have to be spacing here, but I don't like what he's doing, backing himself into a corner. Never a great spot to be in this arena. Always want to hold on to the middle, especially when you have a huge advantage like he has right now. As you can see, almost goes out of the arena. Bit kind of pressing here. Can he get it done? Taking big damage, and then the mini-bot hits him from behind. Azul getting some work in there. Impressive driving from Sizzle to get the mini-bot involved, but he needs to get himself out of this corner. But Bit doing a great job as Indigo's in the air. He's out of the arena. Huge upset from Bit. What a comeback! As we look at the replay here, Indigo's weapon getting stuck inside a Bit, throws himself out of the arena, and I cannot believe it, but we are heading to a Game 3. Well, here we are, the biggest matchup of the season. Game 3. Bit trying to reverse sweep Indigo here and force a best-of-5 series to decide who goes to the grand finals, but Indigo just one hit away from advancing to the finals in a tournament where nobody thought he had a chance. And Icy, his team captain, took a shot on him, drafted him. He's done great so far. And of course, Liquefied. I don't know why everyone thought he was going to be so bad. It's liquefied water. Everything he makes is just pure gold when it gets into the arena. And here we are in a Game 3. Two of the most unlikely bots, according to ranking, facing off here. And this is just exactly what you love to see if you're a fan of the sport of BattleBots. Bit early on, doing a lot of chip damage, gets thrown in the air here, but so far has done well to remove some of the side armor off of Indigo. As you see the left side of the BattleBot right now, missing that angled piece of metal that's been kind of protecting the wheels, as that was added on strictly for this fight. He noticed in the last fight his wheels were a little bit unprotected, so tried to add a little bit more of that coming into this fight today, but it's helping right now as Bit is taking it to him near the box here. Indigo needs to get away from that, as Bit has made a lot of bots find that box this season. Now, honestly, I think we need to do some stat searching on that one, because I feel like every match he has sent at least one person into the box. And he's stuck on the arena wall here. This could be a big moment opportunity for Indigo, as he's unable to do any damage. Bit able to get out of there, and Bit dodges a bullet. Liquefied able to finagle the self-riding mechanism to get himself out of the wall, and we will continue on here with a minute 40 left to go in regulation, as Indigo flops up into the air, back onto the wheels. And for Indigo here, it's getting dire. I mean, you do not want to go to a best-of-5. You had Bit on the ropes. You threw the match. I mean, it was just a big blunder. But he's going to have to come out here in Game 3, halfway through it, and make a strategy adjustment, because he is just getting torn apart, going face-to-face with those weapons. And all the driving techniques I saw in the last few rounds, all the fake-outs and all the reversals he tried to pull off, he just hasn't been able to land them so far. But there you go, a nice shot. But he actually loses some of his own wheels on that one. So something that could have been positive for Indigo. Bit finds a way to take out a chunk, and I think Indigo's having some movement issues here. And we'll see. I feel like they're kind of feeling each other out now. Now Bit getting a little bit more aggressive, throws the weapon at him, does a little bit more chip damage. 50 seconds left. This goes to a judge's decision. I think you got to say Bit is probably favored to win that one, as there goes more wheels, and I don't know if Indigo is going to be able to move. 40 seconds left as the judges start to count him down, and he's just going to reset his character. Bit's going to win. He's going to force a best-of-5 to determine who goes to the finals. As now we'll take a look at the updated bracket. The winner of this best-of-5 will face off against November Rain, not envious of either of them. And here are the team standings, as B3 has tied things up with the Roundtable Clan. But now we'll take a break for a short word from our sponsors.
Hey, kittens. Wait, just this really fast. Gotta talk to all my kittens on Dad Court today. We start that. Hey, kittens. Please join the BC or breed these sacks with a hot E.
Let's go, baby. Listen here, you sweaties. I better never see you acting like that. But today, I'm going to teach you how to be a man. So, first thing we're going to need to do if we're going to fix that Discord moderator lifestyle is hit the gym. So today I've enlisted the help of Bo Bartholomew Dinklefort II, my southern cousin, to come in and show us how it's done. So without further ado, give a round of applause to Bo.
And here goes Bo Bartholomew Dinkleford II in the Olympic deadlift, trying to break the record.
Whoa. Well, it would appear that old Bo forgot to stretch, and that is why today's video is sponsored by Aryo Play's Yoga Stretching Band. You see, Aryo Play takes the utmost care of their customers and delivers a high-quality product. I know you're asking me, this is a gaming channel, why we're doing this, but let's be honest, we all sit like this in our chairs and need to stretch out at the end of the day. And that's where this product comes in right here, a nice, big stretching band with lots of loops in it, and you can just stretch out every part of your body if you'd like. And it's on Amazon right now for 20% off using the link in the description. And if you have Prime, free shipping, free returns, and thank you to Aryo Play for sponsoring this video. Remember, when you have an incredible product like this, it's hard to find it at incredible value, but for only $10.99, it could be yours at 21% off right now using my link in the description. So thank you to Aryo Plays for sponsoring this video, and I appreciate the support of the Roblox Battlebot Championship Series. Well, here we are. It is time for the second series. We're getting ready for Game 1 as there's the bell. And this series is brought to you by the Playing Crazy Battlebot community, which is the governing body for all of Battlebots. And they help make all the big decisions that make RBCS, MBIT, and all the big leagues possible. So big thank you to them as there's a big shot on Indigo. And that side armor plating already being ripped off here as Bit is coming out aggressive so far in Game 1. And you can see he's spinning up. He has a lot of confidence after that reverse sweep. And a confident Liquefied is one you do not want to fight against, at least in my experience, because he will just completely take over a fight. But they're near the arena wall. Something could happen here now that 30 seconds are up, and ring outs are now allowed. So there was an opportunity there for Indigo to maybe get a cheap hit, but now they're back in the middle of the arena where Bit tends to shine, as he just has that reach and that ability to hit you no matter where you're at. But they go near the box. Could be an opportunity for Indigo to get back into this, as he hasn't been able to do much damage ever since that Game 2 where he unfortunately threw it away, and Bit was able to make adjustments without his weapons and finish the battle. As they meet back in the middle of the arena, Bit trying his best to do something, takes off a piece of the armor, and things calm back down for a second as Bit whips around, throws Indigo against the wall, and then comes Indigo trying to get a big charge on, tries to throw on the brakes at the last second to bait, but unfortunately it does not work out as now he's in a bad spot. Bit able to pin him up against the wall for a second, and now you can see Indigo. I think he's trying to bait Bit towards the box. I like this strategy here, but it may backfire as his back wheels got stuck on the box for a second. But I think that's what you're going to have to do here. You're going to have to go for those cheap shots against Bit, because trying to beat him one-on-one, I mean, that's like trying to fight a grizzly bear, man. You're just not going to win. The physical attributes are not in your favor. Bit being so much bigger and faster than everyone else and having that insane reach, just a Battlebot design we've never really seen before in RBCS, and it has done great work throughout this whole tournament. Indigo's beat it before, though, so, I mean, I think he knows how to do it. Him and his coach have watched a lot of film coming into today's action, and I think the only reason why Indigo lost Game 1 is because they got away from the strategies that were making them successful. Indigo's in the air, back down, opportunity for Bit here to fight and get up against Indigo, and unable to land any blows there, but so far winning in the eyes of the judges, doing big damage to that side armor, and those wheels are starting to disappear on Indigo, as I think I see a bit of crab walking. Yep, he is missing wheels on one of the sides, that's for sure, but still trying to bait near the box, trying to make something happen, loses another wheel, and is he going to be able to move? That's going to be the question, and he is not. The judges rule him out, and that's a knockout in Game 1. And we are now getting ready for Game 2. Both of the bots are ready. Indigo just needs to figure out a way to get back to the strategy that was working for him. But I think you've seen Bit and Liquefied. I mean, they just make adjustments. That's the little things about spacing and how you go about things. It's the little mind games. And, you know, this game does have a lot of lag and ping in it. So it's also how you manipulate that as well in your favor. As there's a big shot right off the bat, throws Indigo into the bar drum, or however you want to call it. I've been calling it so many different things throughout the course of this year. It doesn't have a great name yet, but I do love the addition of arena hazards this year. I think it's played a big role in a lot of fights, like the Pentakill versus Demon of the North fight. You know, he drove into an arena hazard, got himself flung into the box, and we've seen that a lot this year where people have been winning fights and have thrown it away by just making a driving error. I mean, you got to use those to your advantage. As Indigo in the air fighting with Bit, both sides taking a little bit of damage, but I think the Indigo is going to come out a little bit worse for wear after that one. Bit's still relatively intact. You know, Bit, whenever he designed, Liquefied, when he designed this bot, made sure to use all of his game knowledge to design those weapons, and he has done so perfectly, using the right materials, right combination of blocks to make sure that they are near invincible. So that's why I get so hyped as an announcer when I see them fall off, because they are so hard to remove. as Indigo went flying in for a shot, was able to get Bit a little bit uncomfortable here, see if he can capitalize, but Bit able to counterattack, spin those weapons around, and get back on the target. As there goes another piece of Indigo flying up into the air. Indigo, once again, without that side armor, getting knocked off early, gonna have to get back onto, faking out Bit, looking for those soft sides. And even then, when you attack the front on that wedge, it's a very big, bulky wedge, so it's hard to remove. And I think Indigo has seen that a lot, and he's going to have to figure out something to do. But at this rate, minute left in the fight, he is getting worked. His bot has lost a lot of its mass, as Bit's bouncing around almost out of the arena, able to come back in, as Liquefied is able to keep calm and keep this fight going on, as Indigo pinballs around the arena off the drum spinner. And now Bit winds up into him, throws him across with 50 seconds left to go. The way this is going, I either see a ring out or I see a judge's decision. I don't know if we're going to see a KO with how resilient these bots are. I know we saw one last round, but that was just because all the wheels were able to get sniped off of Indigo. 40 seconds left. Things are getting dire here for Team Indigo. Sizzle is having to be sweating right now as he's getting pinballed once again. Goes off the drum, gets back on his wheels. 30 seconds to make something happen here. And if you're a fan of Indigo, you have to be sweating right now. He cannot go down 2-0 to Bit. It's just not going to work out in his favor. But right now, stuck on his back, not able to self-right. But Bit is all over him, not giving him any room to breathe, so the referees cannot count him out. And he's just going to stay on the prowl, trying to get all those aggression points. Indigo back up with 10 seconds left. As in comes the referee to take us to the buzzer. And I think Bit's probably going to win this one by unanimous decision. But we're going to send it to the judges here in Game 2. It's now time for Game 3. Bit with an opportunity to advance to the Grand Finals. Indigo trying to keep its tournament hopes alive. Can Sizzle make the adjustment? Sends in Azul first, and Azul able to get anything going. So we are off here. And Indigo trying to return the reverse sweep favor. Just got reverse swept in the last series by Bit. Trying to see if it can do it here. Although it is highly unlikely with how good Bit is in history. Just in history overall in elimination games. You just can't beat Bit when it's all on the line. So we'll see if Indigo can be the first one to really get that done here, as we are 30 seconds into this fight and ringouts are now allowed. They meet in the middle of the arena. Indigo doing a big shot here, almost throws Bit off the wall, trying to corner, and this is going to be tough here. It's just hard to go weapon to weapon with Bit, but Indigo's trying, just going to throw everything at it, including the kitchen sink here in Game 3. Tournament hopes on the line. And just more damage being done. Bit playing with the pieces it's ripped off Indigo so far. That's how confident Liquefied Water is. And I think he has every right to be so after how he's handled, the last several rounds. He's won 4 straight games against such a tough Battlebot in Indigo. And it's really been easy ever since that blunder in Game 2 of the last series. Bit has just completely taken it to a different level. And as you can see it there, more damage being done, more armor being stripped away from Indigo as we reach almost the halfway point here, and I just have not seen any driving adjustments from Indigo. I think he's just kind of dumbfounded. As you see, they're trying to delay, trying to fake, gets an opportunity, and goes off the face, but that wedge negating all of the damage of that drum spinner. And Bit just, on paper, Bit is the perfect counter for Indigo. It just did not do a good job in their first matchup a few rounds ago. But ever since then, Bit's just been improving. The driving has always been there for Liquefied, and also, Liquefied has a great coach in Battlebot here with him today, trying to ensure that B3 gets its first ever win in an RBCS tournament. The only other team to do that is, no longer around. But, hey, they're trying to be the only one that's currently existing with a championship, and they're taking on the Roundtable Clan with that. And speaking of the team standings, Heaven's Guard shaking right now. If Indigo loses this one, they are eliminated from RBCS contention. With less than a minute left, though, Bit dominating here, throwing Indigo into that vertical spinner, that arena hazard. Just keeping him close to the walls as Bit goes flying across the arena, almost out. And that has to be a heart-stopping moment for Bit and Liquefied, the driver, because you've had control over this whole fight. You do not want to throw it in the dumpster. You've already seen what happens whenever Indigo did it earlier in the series. So he's just going to keep things simple, I think, here. Keep himself around the middle of the arena and just keep Indigo at bay. As you can see, just kind of small shots. Never mind. Huge shot up in the air. Indigo on top of the arena. And that should... No, he finds a way back in. He falls back into the arena. And the fight will continue on. 13 seconds left. And this is crazy action. I don't think we've ever
10,
seen someone come in back in the arena
8,
that way.
7,
but 5
6,
seconds left
5,
between Bit
4,
and Glory.
3,
the judges will surely
2,
choose him.
1.
And there is the bell.